We've all heard you repeatedly refuse to condemn it.
And we've heard Donald Trump refuse to condemn it too.
Posobiec.
But for some reason, the leftists on YouTube are a bigger deal. Unbelievable.
Yeah. What's incredible is you don't have the basic humanity to condemn it. You'd rather taunt his widow. I find that sickening.
Welcome, fellow argument lovers. This is Mark Adam with another episode of Mark Adam Objects. Hello again, everybody. This time we've got some excerpts from a panel that Piers Morgan put together shortly after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I'm still very pissed off about it. I feel like I won't be saying much because this little fucking prick ain't worth it, but we'll see how it goes. Destiny is a demon.
Destiny, you've been quite active on social media since Charlie Kirk's death. When Erika Kirk posted Charlie's coffin, you responded, she tagged him, brackets, crying face emojis. In response to Alina Haber's tweet ordering people to fly their flags at half-mast in memory of Charlie, you posted on X, buying flags and poles just to fly them fully erect. And you then posted yesterday, ending every conservative debate call out I'd do in 2026 with, don't dodge, bro. That's not what Charlie would have wanted. I mean, do you think that your response to the cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk has been appropriate?
Yes. I think that the only way this country moves forward into a better world is when conservatives can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
Michelle says that, you know, when they go low, we go high. No. When they go low, we kick them. That's what this new Democratic Party is about.
Please don't just come here today and then go home. Go to the Hill today. Get up and please get up in the face of some Congress people. Move back.
We take an oath to protect and defend the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue with their allies in the Congress of the United States.
They asked me, would I like to debate this gentleman? And I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
I'll meet him in a hotel room any day of the week and give him a Louisville Slugger. Kiss my mother ass, you bitch punk sucker.
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Let's make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store.
Don't touch me, okay? Don't quit touching me, okay? Yeah, them bitches hurt, okay? Them bitches hurt. Yeah, stop moving. I'm sorry, man. Hurt, okay? I'm sorry. Don't touch me.
At a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
He can't come back to New York. He can't. He's going to walk down the street in New York? Forget bodyguards. He better have an army if he thinks he's going to walk down the street in New York.
So you want, hold it back here.
Same exact thing we just did. That's it. Rotate a little bit. Other way. That's it right there.
If the president does go ahead and fire Robert Mueller, we would have people take to the streets. I believe there would be widespread civil unrest because Americans understand that the rule of law is paramount.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president? Maybe it's time.
It's an actor dressed to look just like President Donald Trump as he's assassinated on stage. Look as his character is stabbed to death, and there's no mistaking the Trump connection.
And he put this around my neck, And I might just kill ISIS with the same ice pick that I murdered Donald Trump in the same night with.
You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about. That's why I believe if we are fortunate enough to win back the House and/or the Senate, that's when civility can start again. But until then, the only thing that the Republicans seem to recognize and respect is strength.
The Minneapolis Police Department is rotten to the root.
Sunday morning, I know I just came from Mass, but nonetheless, I'll say this. When you're in the arena, you got to be ready to take a punch. You got to be ready to throw a punch for the children.
He's a punk, he's a dog, he's a pig. Well, I'd like to punch him in the face.
Even in states where Donald Trump won big, that it does you any good running away from Donald Trump. I think you need to go back and punch him in the face. I mean, the truth is this guy is bad for this country.
Kind of shocking. Honestly, I don't necessarily like it. I'm not real excited about it being in my neighborhood.
Neighbors in the Oakdale neighborhood are uncomfortable with this hanging Trump doll that appeared on their street after Donald Trump got inaugurated.
It's impossible to get away from it. You know, I had a dream the other night about that I was playing golf with Donald Trump and I was standing beside him with a club in my hand and I was, considering my options when I suddenly woke up. It was one of those dreams when you want to just get back to sleep so you can finish it,
And that yes, without no justice, there will be no peace.
So this is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. We ain't playing with you. Enough of the shenanigans. Enough is enough. And for those of you who are soldiers, you know how to do it. Do it right. Be in order. Make them pay.
We are 10 years into whatever this Trump madness is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the temperature on their side. I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump. All of the recent political violence that's happened in this country over the past 20 years, the majority of it, the overwhelming majority of it, everybody gets mad because they keep asking Grok about it, has been conservative.
Let's start in December 2024, December last year. This 20-something guy allegedly gunned down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, Midtown Manhattan. The killer's manifesto raged against the healthcare industry, and left-wing voices treated him like some heroic Robin Hood. According to a disturbing Emerson College poll among people between 18 and 29 years old, 41% said killing the healthcare CEO was either acceptable or somewhat acceptable. 41%. January 27, 2025, a man carrying a Molotov cocktail or two was arrested near the U.S. Capitol, allegedly saying he planned to kill Trump-appointed Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, Defense Secretary Hegseth, and House Speaker Mike Johnson. Then we have, in February, we have the Tesla takedown. These are attacks on the vehicles and the dealerships all across, and it all started picking up traction. In March, a self-described queer scientist was arrested for allegedly firebombing the New Mexico Republican Party headquarters in Albuquerque. Graffiti that read ICE equals KKK was found on the outside of the burned building. Then we go to April 2025. We go to Pennsylvania. The governor there, Josh Shapiro, his official residence was firebombed on Passover night. The suspect allegedly set the governor's mansion on fire because of what Shapiro, who is Jewish, quote, wants to do to the Palestinian people, end quote. In May, it was the murder of 2 young Israeli embassy staffers who were gunned down outside the Capitol of the Jewish Museum there in Washington, D.C. The alleged killer is a 31-year-old man who allegedly shouted, "Free, free Palestine." And while being arrested, he told police he did it for Gaza. The suspect used to be a part of the Party for Socialism and Liberation, but the group claims we haven't seen him since 2017. Then we go to June. An illegal immigrant from Egypt allegedly firebombed a peaceful Jewish protest in Boulder, Colorado. 8 victims were hospitalized. One of them was an 82-year-old woman. She survived the Holocaust but died of her injuries weeks later in this incident. Also in June, a pro-Palestinian activist was arrested for allegedly torching 11 vehicles in New York. June was also the month when the mobs of anti-ICE rioters unleashed their fury on the streets of Los Angeles. They smashed law enforcement vehicles with rocks, threw rocks at policemen, just keeping things mostly peaceful. Then in July 7th, man shoots some officers. Rioters tried to burn down another ICE facility, assaulting police officers until the riots were broken up with tear gas and arrests. Graffiti on the side outside of the facility reads, "Kill your masters." Finally, July 7th, a Michigan man opened fire on a border facility in McAllen, Texas. 2 police officers and an agent were wounded and hospitalized. U.S. Border Patrol agents returned fire, killing the subject. Sorry, said last one. It's this one, July 11th. We have more anti-ICE chaos. It erupted during a raid on a cannabis farm in Ventura, California. Activists again assaulted ICE officers and vehicles, with one protester appearing to fire shots at federal agents. All of this since December. I know that may seem like a long, long time ago, but it wasn't. We're talking the last 8 months. Murder, attempted murder, arson, vandalism, total chaos, terrorism. This is the very definition of terrorism.
Who shot Charlie Kirk?
A guy from Utah who was raised in a Christian family, who was a 22-year-old
guy
white
described
dude. He wasn't
Destiny.
trans. He didn't have a trans girlfriend. He didn't have any trans influences. He didn't have any trans bullets. Yeah, I'm sorry.
If it turns out to have been somebody with a leftist ideology who wanted to shut up Charlie Kirk, would you condemn that?
Officials say Tyler Robinson is not cooperating, but his family and friends are. FBI Director Kash Patel and Deputy Dan Bongino giving an update on the investigation.
We were able to gather a significant amount of forensic information, which we expedited back to the lab, which was the key, piece of information that we were able to crack this thing open.
His family has collectively told investigators that he subscribed to left-wing ideology. He claimed that he had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and he was going to do it because of his hatred for what Charlie stood for.
We can confirm that his roommate was indeed a boyfriend who is transitioning from male to female. He is cooperating with authorities as well.
I won't condemn anything until the President of the United States can go on air and say, all of us need to calm down.
So you won't condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk until Donald Trump says something.
I'm a YouTuber. Leftists and Democrats have been condemning and turning down the temperature, condemning violence, turning down the temperature for a decade. Donald Trump can't go on TV and say, all of us need to calm down.
Right.
Can you tell me why he cannot?
Why would you expect anybody, Destiny?
You can't answer that. Can you answer that question? Why can't
Can
Trump
you
go
answer
on TV
this
and say,
question?
all of us should be less violent?
Why do you
can't
think
Trump say that?
Why do you think
your behavior contingent on Donald Trump?
I'm insane right now.
Why do you think?
Your
No, let me ask a
contingent
question.
on Donald Trump?
Let me ask a question.
Because he's the President of the United States of America and the leader of the opposing political party.
Destiny.
I got to go with Destiny on this one. The only way to fight a dictator is to willingly give up all your autonomy and only do the things they do. That's why I didn't shit in the toilet for 4 years under Biden. If he's not going to, I'm not going to.
saying,
I have one question for you, Destiny.
Why can't conservatives do that? Why can't conservatives do that?
Destiny, I have a question for you. Why do you think in your campaign for everyone to dial down the temperature, why do you think that mocking the grieving widow of Charlie Kirk when she posts an image of her at the coffin side, why do you think that constitutes turning down the temperature?
You can't turn down the temperature on your own. The president of the United States is
inflame
not
the temperature.
able
You're
to
mocking his
it's
widow.
Already inflamed.
You're mocking
what are you
his
talking
widow.
About? We've had multiple political assassinations over the past year. What do you mean it's turning up the temperature?
Why did you mock his widow?
Online because
Why did you mock his widow?
Because she's being used as a political weapon right now
Wow.
for conservatives to continue their fight. What do you mean, wow? She's literally doing
Her husband just got
ads
murdered.
on email. Yeah, and she's using it to drive up recruitment for
And
a
you
political
can't even
movement.
condemn the murder. You won't condemn it.
Can't even tell his side
You're
to
so
turn the temperature
deranged
down.
about Trump that you
are
cannot condemn the
unhinged.
murder
It is such
because
a
you're
joke,
waiting
and
for
you guys
Donald
sit here
Trump
and
to
make
say
money
something.
off of it. It's
All right, let me bring in
crazy to me that
Jack.
Republicans can't
Let me
do
bring
it.
in Jack
What a joke of the
Posobiec.
world.
I gotta
And
say,
there's still no answer to that question, Piers. You can't say
which question?
Why can't Donald Trump simply go on TV and say we all need to turn it down,
Fine.
like Biden could, like Obama could,
Fine.
like the Clintons could, like Kamala could? Why
Fine.
not?
We've all heard you repeatedly refuse to
And
condemn
we've
it.
heard Donald Trump refuse to condemn
Jack
it too. But for
Posobiec.
some reason, the leftists on YouTube are a bigger deal. Unbelievable.
Yeah. What's incredible is you don't have the basic humanity to condemn it. You'd rather taunt his widow. I find that sickening.
I wonder why Destiny would have such a hostile reaction to seeing the love and loyalty from Charlie Kirk's wife, Erika. I wonder why that would be.
I'm in a poly relationship. The reason why I'm in a poly relationship is because I don't give a if my girlfriend goes and another guy, because I know she's coming back to me at the end of the night.
Yeah, dripping with fluid from randos. Score!
You were in an open marriage, which means each partner can sleep with other people and have these like kind of micro relationships with other people. A lot of people were speculating that it would eventually fail.
Screw those naysayers, Destiny. You can do it.
You're going through a divorce right now.
I'm done with my divorce.
She's not coming back to you anymore. Divorce number 2. Maybe keep Erika Kirk's name out of your mouth.
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie
it's
Kirk?
Unbelievable. I'm not the president
Why
of the United
can't
States.
you
Can't answer that
condemn the
question.
murder of Charlie Kirk?
Unbelievable to me.
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Because it wasn't my side that caused it. It should
Yes,
be the
it
one
was.
that is driving up
It
the
actually
rhetoric.
was your side that caused it. It
This
was
an
your
18
side.
This guy was raised in a white
He was
Christian
a
household,
radicalized
in a Christian
leftist
state.
ideology.
He wasn't radicalized.
The idea of mocking a woman who is now a widow with 2 young children who witnessed her husband get shot in the neck and bleed out to death. Let me understand your argument. So since others are using her grief to politically recruit, you think that it's okay to mock her specifically?
Since others
How
are
does that make
using
any
her grief,
sense?
she's the one who gave a 17-minute speech on TV where she talked about good versus evil. She's the one showing up in
Destiny,
TPUSA ads to 1 or 2 days after.
To you. If someone assassinated my husband, I would not be able to have the level of composure she had during that speech. I would be out for blood. I understand why she's angry and why she said the things that she said. Okay, you need to understand what being a human is, what it's like to actually lose someone that you love, that you chose to spend your life with, that you chose to raise children with, a person who was violently and viciously assassinated like that.
To me, this is what I'm talking about, that I think there is an element of the left, the hard woke left, that have completely lost their minds. If you are not able to just outright simply condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk, and if you cannot stop yourself from mocking his grieving widow, you are sick. The irony of Charlie Kirk is that he led the way in going in to debate with people who hated him, and he would try and have respectful dialogue.
Charlie Kirk beat up on college students.
Unlike
That's all
you,
he
Destiny.
did. Let's be
Let
real.
me bring
Unlike
Andrew
me,
Wilson
I'm
in.
here
So do you.
arguing, yeah.
Let me bring in Andrew Wilson.
So do you. You beat up on college students. You go on a college tour.
Charlie
You're going on a
Kirk is
college
trying to
tour
hold
right
higher
now
level
to
debates
beat
and you
up
guys
on
killed
college students. What are you talking about, Destiny? That's what you're doing right this second. I got one question for you, and I want you to actually answer it. Are you glad Charlie Kirk is dead?
No, I don't think anybody in this country should be dying to political violence. It's insane. The past 5 years in this country has been crazy. But the reality is, until conservatives
So then why did you say to your co-host that Trump deserved the bullet? Why did you tell him that?
Until conservatives have to say,
hey, we all need to be less violent, there's no purpose in Democrats doing it, because every time Democrats disavow, you further entrench your guys' delusional beliefs that all the violence is coming on the left.
Let me prove to you that they know better. Because right now, making the rounds, is this idea that political violence is more prevalent on the right. The left right now knows better, but they are trying to lie. It's what we used to call, what we should still call, propaganda. There is more right-wing violence than the left, and they'll even show you a chart. Okay, I will prove to you right now that it's bullshit. Let me show you what's not on this list, what is not included whatsoever as leftist, ideologically motivated violence. All of the violence after the 2017 inauguration, 200 people arrested, far more crimes committed. In case you've forgotten, none of this included in your chart.
Burning cars and smashed windows. A small group of protesters dressed in black, their faces covered, armed with hammers and bricks.
None of this is included in the stat being circulated. This is not left-wing violence. It is not. It doesn't exist.
Today, and more than 100 people arrested.
That is not political violence according to the stats that you are hearing parroted from the left right now. Why? Because all the charges were dropped. So they didn't include that. Remember the Trump supporter in Portland, Aaron Danielson? He was killed by a member of Antifa. The man's name was Michael Reinhold. And before you run the clip, he was shot point blank dead in the street. Why do we know? Because we have video evidence and he admitted it. And he was shot dead point blank in the street. Why? Because he was a Trump supporter. How do we know? Because it was said on camera. For those who don't remember, what you are about to see, according to the charts, according to the methodology, is not political violence. It is not included. We got a Trump supporter here, bang, bang, dead. Not counted as political violence. Any of you want to trust your institutions? There's more to it. Of course, the database only counts white on minority hate crimes as political. Black on minority is not counted, considering when you see how much political violence was committed from black Americans, for example, against Asians. If you look at many of these studies, they don't include, for example, you'll see that chart from The Economist, 2020. Left-wing violence, non-existent. Summer of Love, didn't exist. Didn't exist.
Unbelievable.
Destiny told his co-host, when asked point blank if he wanted the bullet to kill Trump, that the worst thing that could have happened was the bullet missing. He said this to Pisco. I watched it, okay? This guy's an obfuscation machine. And if you know what else, Destiny, why should we believe you? I think you are glad Kirk is dead. And all of your tweets seem to prove that. And you would have been happy if Trump was assassinated. You've made that very clear. So why not just be truthful for once in your fucking life and say the truth, that you don't care that Kirk is dead, and you're actually probably glad he is. Isn't that really what's true?
And
so did Trump deserve the bullet? Did Trump deserve the bullet?
This is all you care about are the political hit jobs.
Just answer the question, bro. Did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Donald Trump
deserve the bullet
on his side ever? Did Donald Trump
answer the question? Did Trump deserve the bullet?
You can't answer the question. We're here to play.
No, bro. It's my turn to ask the question. It's your turn to answer.
Did
Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Trump disavow violence in this country ever?
Did he deserve the bullet? Yes, he's disavowed
question,
violence. But again, I just did. Now your turn. Now your turn. It's your turn.
Did Donald Trump?
Did Trump deserve the bullet?
I never said that. No, I never said that. No.
Okay, except you did to your co-host.
No, I didn't. Oh, wait. When did Donald Trump disavow? Wait. When did Donald Trump disavow violence in this country?
Your exact words to your co-host, you lying sack of shit. If he wanted to kill Trump, the worst thing that could have happened was the bullet missing. That's what you said, bro.
Yeah. And this is where when you're putting YouTubers and tweeters on the same level as the president of the United States, this is why conservatives are absolutely brain broken when it comes to violence in this country.
Why don't you, Destiny, right now, just outright condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Because we've been doing that for a decade. One side can't turn down the temperature.
You can't do it.
Can't turn down the temperature. If Donald Trump can't,
then the left shouldn't until he does.
Got it.
Republicans
Okay, you don't want to do it.
need accountability
Okay,
for
Jack-
their actions. They need some responsibility for the insanity.
He had
that
it coming,
caused-
Even though you've taken on
He had
yourself.
it coming.
Jack.
Yeah.
What is your response to this?
I mean, Piers, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, this type of ideology where you've got someone who's willing to mock Erika, who's been standing strong for her family, for her children, who's just, she will never be able to grow old with Charlie. She will never be able to be with them again, have more children, to have grandchildren, to have those memories, to raise them. It's all gone. Every single moment of that future that they had was gone because someone fired a bullet at Charlie Kirk that said, "Hey, fascist, catch." And now you have people celebrating it. And when you ask people
That's
about
not even
it,
the
they
bullet
say,
that was fired.
"Oh,
How are you lying
oh,
about this?
Shut
even?
up, Destiny.
Holy
Shut up.
shit! You're so
Shut
shameless,
up.
dude. Oh my god! You're not even inside the right bullet. You're such a disgusting
Piers.
piece of shit. Holy fuck!
What a pedantic point.
Are we-
What a
are we
It's not
even gonna do
pedantic.
this?
This guy's a fucking professional
It's total
liar.
pedant-
Are we even
it's
gonna do
total
this?
pedantry. Total
This guy
pedantry.
probably.
I
I would like to let
Jesus.
Jack. I would like to let Jack finish his point, please.
Yeah,
and
it's just
and
rant
they'll
here,
claim there's no leftist connection. They'll claim there's no there and then go so far as to lie and say there's some kind of Christian conservative connection when you could see the writing on the bullet casings. And this
How is
isn't
it that you
exciting.
said this guy can't be a
This isn't
leftist
good.
because he grew up in a white Christian household when you grew up in a white Christian household by your own admission just now and you're a fucking leftist, Destiny?
I'm
Can you explain that
36
to me?
years old. This guy was 22 and he lived at home
What does that have to do
basically
with
his entire
anything?
life.
What does that have to do with
Because I
anything?
had 20 years to separate myself from my parents' ideology. I didn't live with them still. Jesus.
So 6 months, 1 year, 20 years? Why does it matter how long it took to separate? You just got to say it was impossible, and you yourself are a leftist who grew up in a Christian conservative household, dude. You're the worst hypocrite I've ever seen.
Hold on.
You're the
I'm
worst
sorry.
hypocrite.
You think that a 22-year-old has as much time to separate himself from the ideology that he grew
Did
up
I
with
say
as
that?
a 36-year-old?
Didn't say
Yeah,
it.
you just made
It's
the
a
comparison,
pedantic,
dipshit.
stupid
Of course
point.
you did. It's not
Let me
pedantic.
ask,
I made the comparison that
Absolutely
person can be
opposite.
radicalized.
What a
Look at
stupid
you.
point.
Let me
You're the
jump
most
in.
radical-
You
Republicans
mocked
won't
a
turn
grieving
down the
widow.
rhetoric, then who cares? Donald Trump
Who
shouldn't have
cares?
used the rhetoric that led her to being
Who cares?
killed. 2 days before she
Who
dies,
cares
Donald
that you
Trump's
mocked
tweeting
a
out
grieving
pictures.
widow?
This is
There
all.
it
It's
is.
just virtue signaling.
There
You
it
guys
is.
are
Donald
making
Trump's
fun. You
fault.
guys are excited about it. You guys love it.
How is
You
it-
love
how
the
is it that you
violence.
said this
You
guy
love
can't
the
possibly be a
conflict. It's
leftist?
exciting to you. Why, yeah,
The
no, of
simple,
course you can do
humane thing
this.
to do with any event like this is to ask yourself, how do I personally feel about it? Not what does Donald Trump think about it, or what does Joe Biden think about it, or what does Timbuktu think about it. It's what do I personally feel about this. It didn't take me very long, Destiny, to understand that I felt repulsed by the execution of somebody in cold blood with his wife and 2 young children there watching. It's a human reaction. I don't need to know what Donald Trump thinks about it at all. Okay, let me ask Jack. Jack, you know the Kirk family well. You've been around the Kirk family, I think, since this appalling murder has happened. When you hear Destiny saying, who cares, about the fact that he openly, publicly mocked Erika Kirk, a grieving widow, within literally a day or two of her husband being murdered, how does that make you feel as a friend of the family?
It's very angry, Piers, you know. And here's the thing is she's seeing all of it. She's going to see all of it. Her kids are going to watch this video one day. It's just, that's sort of the nature of reality now. They will see all of this and they will see the reaction. And I just hope that those of us who knew Charlie, worked with Charlie, who knew Charlie beyond the, you know, TikToks and short videos can also be there for those kids as they grow up to let them know who their dad was.
I do think you've got to try and maintain in all of these debates a modicum of humanity about people who are actually being killed. And what is terrifying about the mindset of a lot of people on the woke left I've seen since Charlie Kirk's death is the brazen glee that they're taking to his murder.
Look, social media is a tool. And what social media has done right now is it's allowed us to get a glimpse into leftist ideology, finally. Yeah. And we get to see the insane madness that was always there. And the fact of the matter is that, here on the panel right this second, you have a guy who celebrated a multitude of these types of things, including telling his co-host that basically Trump, the worst place that the assassin could have put the bullet was anywhere other than Trump. I mean, I got the clip of him doing it. And so the thing is like what we've noted now, these people are glad. They're glad. They're happy. They love it. I go on TikTok all the time and I debate with these people. It's very clear that leftists are glad that this happened and that they're going to do everything they can to promote more of it. And we're supposed to base our behavior on what the president does or doesn't say. What, like if I had Biden derangement syndrome, I couldn't still come out and condemn political violence? Of course I could.
If you care about democracy, the democratic process is reliant on having these types of conversations and reliant on not resorting to violence because you're unable to articulate your arguments effectively against the other side. That's what I see this assassination as. Again, it was cowardice. It was disgusting. It was cold-blooded murder, and no one should be celebrating it, and no one should be mocking the family members of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. Very well said. I just want to thank all the panel for joining me. Jack, I want to sort of say to you, I can tell by your demeanour today how profoundly impacted you've been by your friend's murder. God. And I'm just very sorry to you as his friend that you've had to endure what must have been a hellish week. And
actual ghouls.
I'd like to send my very best to the family who I know you talked to. And I'm sorry for some of the things you've had to hear from Destiny in this debate. But thank you for coming on despite what you've been going through. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, Piers. I'll convey that to them.
Thank you very much.